Hello children, nice to meet you all. Children, we are learning about Nelson Mandela, isn't it? Why? Why madam, why are you teaching all those why about Mandela? Do you feel, isn't it? Why? Because you have to take some inspiration. We have Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, each one of them has done something to the country. Now you think what you are doing to the country. First thing, are you doing your own responsibilities? Are you doing your own works? You have to do your own works. Are you dependent on anyone? Your mother or your father or your brother or your sister? You are. Some of you are dependent. For some things, you are depending on your parents. For some things, you are depending on your brothers and sisters. Isn't it? But don't try to do like that. Try to do your own work. Try to do your own work. And take someone as inspiration. Your mother may have some good qualities, positive qualities. Your dad may have some positive qualities. Your sister, your brother, your cousin. Take one positive quality from each person and try to implement in yourself. Okay children, so take one leader. You go for heroes and heroines and all, isn't it? I don't say don't go, but the main heroes are these people who gave lives for the freedom of the country. Take the inspiration of such people. What did they do? How did they achieve freedom? And you take some good qualities, positive qualities, and you try to implement in yourself. Once you think, children, what you are doing for your family, what you are doing for your country, you have to do something for your family. Are you doing or not? Some of you are doing, some of you are not doing. You have to do something at least to the country. What you are doing for your country, think once. You're grown-ups. What are you doing for your country? Think, ask yourself. What are you doing to yourself? So think in this way. Mandela is also from a rich family. He did not worry he can have a luxurious life. But why did he join? Why did he want to fight? What freedom he want? He want the freedom of apartheid. Why? He want to give the rights to the black people. He want to give their own rights. Okay, he don't want to deprive them. He want to give them their own rights which whites are not giving them. He wanted to give and he wanted to give them good freedom. Okay, so children, when we are living in our society, in your life, in our houses, we have to think what we can do for our country, what we can do for our friends, what we can do for our family. If you try to start doing something to your friends, to your family, simultaneously you will think of doing something to your country also. That idea, that thought will come in your mind. Oh, if I do like this, our country people will be good. It will be good for our country. It will be good for our people. You get some idea. So first you start doing for your family, for your society. Then you can think for your family. Okay, children. Who is that standing back of you? Who is that? Oh, I thought someone. Okay, come on. Let us go for the lesson. No one? No one is behind you, isn't it? Okay. Now come back to our lesson, children. The author's thoughts. When he was standing on the stage, he took the promises. What are the promises? That he will never allow any gender basis discrimination, poverty, deprivation, suffering. He will not allow anything to come over the people. He pledged. He took a promise. He took an oath. Now by standing there, his mind is going in different ways. He told about the people. Okay, fine. First he addressed the guests. Okay, fine. He saw all the enjoyment of the people. Fine. Next he thanked the guests. He thanked everything over. Enjoyment over. Next he took an oath. What he will do for the country. Next, what are his feelings? What are his thoughts in his mind? First he addressed the guests. He thanked them for coming from far distances and all. Next he told about the what? You should think step by step, what did he say? First, he addressed the guests. Next, he took an oath. He took a pledge that he will do these things for the country. Next, his feelings he told. Now, what are his thoughts? Now, see here, the author's thoughts. On that day of the inauguration, the author thought of history. It is a birthday party. You think, oh, this what to eat, what to not, how to enjoy everything. And we enjoy the party and we come to our houses. Okay, but here in his party of inauguration, he thought of the history. He thought of the past. That few moments will be very happy and we enjoy the time. What is happening only we enjoy, we concentrate. But this person, he thought of the history. What is that he thought? In the first decade, the South African people had patched up their differences with other black skinned people. First century, 100 years. Okay, century means 100 years. So, first decade. In the first decade means 10 years. In the first decade, first 10 years, the South African people had patched up their differences. First 10 years, both of them were fighting for the differences. He remembered those days. They had built a system of superiority also. The white people are showing differences between blacks. Whites, blacks. Always they are telling, you are black, you go away. You have to be in that place only. You should not come out of that place. You should not roam in that city. You should not go to that city. You should not go to that place. You are not supposed to join in the political parties. You are not supposed to do the business. All the supremacy was under whites. They were superior. Superior means higher level. He remembered those days. They had built a system of superiority also. It was the basis of the harshest societies. They were very, very harsh. They tortured the blacks. Next, this system had now stood overturned. Now, in those days, white were the superiors. Now, the system became overturned. Now, who are the superiors? Blacks are the superiors. Now, it was the system that recognized the rights and freedoms of all people. When the blacks are ruling, they gave equal rights to all the people. They gave equal freedom to all the people. No superiority. Whites showed the superiority, whereas blacks did not show any superiority. They gave equal freedoms to all the people. He remembered all those. He's standing and thinking all those and telling one. When I came to know about this, like this he's telling, in those days superiors were white people. The black people were not superior. I remember all those days. I would remember every moment. He's saying to all the people. Next. The author regrets. Regrets means feeling sorry. First, what did he do? He remembered. He thanked all the guests, dignitaries, everything. Next, he promised, he pledged. What all he wanted to do, he promised. Next, he enjoyed the moments, the jet planes, everything he enjoyed with all the people. Next, he thought of thinking what had happened in the previous history. Okay, next. Now he is feeling sorry. Regret means feeling sorry. Why he is feeling sorry? He started fighting against the whites. When he was fighting, many people lost their lives. Now Mahatma Gandhi, when he wants freedom for August 15, 1947, when he was fighting for the freedom, many people died, isn't it? Many people lost their lives. But anyhow, until he achieved the freedom, he did not stop. He was going on struggling. Now, like that, in the same way, Mandela also, when he was fighting for the freedom of the blacks, many people lost their lives. Then he is feeling sorry. How? See here. This auspicious day came after the sacrifices of thousands of the people. Many people lost their lives. They sacrificed their life for the freedom. Many blacks died. The author thought of himself the sum of all those people. If those people are there, at this happiest moment, Those people did not enjoy these happiest moment. They can't enjoy these happiest moment. They gave their lives and they died. They went away. Now the happiest moments they are unable to enjoy. He was pained that he couldn't thank them. I could not say even thanks also. I got the freedom now. I am very happy. All my people are very happy. But now, in this situation, I can't even thank them. They lost their lives, they died. They struggled and they died. I could not even say thanks for them. What type of moment is this? Okay, children? He's feeling regret means feeling sorry. Array, they died. I could not even say thanks now. Now we all are enjoying. But what about them who struggled a lot? He's remembering one and he's standing and speaking. Next, freedom fighters remembered. These all are the freedom fighters you have in your textbook, children. This photo, this pic you have. These all are the freedom fighters who gave their lives for the country. The policy of apartheid created a lasting wound in his country and his people. This fighting for apartheid, he wanted to abolish the apartheid. So, there was one small wound in his country and his people. The policy of apartheid created a lasting wound in his country and his people. That wound is still in the heart of some people. That wound has not gone. We had to fight for our rights. We had to fight for our rights. Though they suffered a lot, they did not go back. They did not give up. They fought for the freedom. This policy has produced a great freedom fighters. We should fight for our country. We should fight for our blacks. This policy only made them great freedom fighters. See, these are all great freedom fighters. They were like Oliver Tambo's, Walter Sisulu's, Chief Luthulis, Yusuf Dadus, etc. These all are the great freedom fighters. Tambo was the first vice president. Second vice president, de Klerk. And Tambo, he was elected as a vice president. First vice president, deputy vice president. Okay. And they were men of uncommon courage. Uncommon courage means outstanding courage. Lot of courage. They did not afraid of anything. They were very, very outstanding. They were not afraid of anything. They went forward. Though they are not sick, they left their families, children. And we should attain freedom for the blacks. We should attain freedom for the blacks. With that aim, they had uncommon courage. Uncommon courage means so much of courage. Outstanding courage. They had wisdom and generosity. They felt very sad, very kind for the people who were suffering a lot. The blacks, the white tortured a lot for the blacks. The white people tortured in such a way that many people died. All these freedom fighters remembered and they did not give up. They fought for the freedom of the blacks and they attained the freedom. He remembered all those people. One situation he is remembering and telling on the stage in his speech. Okay, he remembered the black. He thanked. Next, what did he do? He took the pledge. Next, he remembered all the sacrifices. He thanked all the people. He remembered all the people who gave lives. Everything one by one, step by step, he is coming. They were men of uncommon courage and wisdom and generosity. Next, the definition of courage. For him, he defined courage in separate way. What he says is, courage means being dare. No, that is, he feels that not only being dare enough. At the time of fear, if you reach success at the time of fear, that is called courage. What he says is, being daring, I can kill that one, I can be like this, I can be like this. That is not courage. He says that when you are fear of anything, in that fear, if you win anything, that is called courage. Okay, children? You are feared of exams. How will I prepared but I am not much prepared. How will I write the exam? Will I pass or not? Will I pass or not? You think. But with that fear also, whatever question is given, you answered in a proper way. You answered with your general knowledge. You answered that questions very nicely and you scored good percentage. You scored 80%. then how do you feel? You feel very happy, isn't it? Though I did not read, I was scared of that exam, maths exam. I'm very scared. You feel oh, maths is very tough. I'm scared. I will pass or not. I'll pass or not. But anyhow, you answered the paper very nicely. You scored 80%. Then how do you feel? Oh, amazing. Isn't it? You feel fabulous. Oh, very nice performance I did. You feel, isn't it? So like that, here what he's saying is that is they lived from these people. What he's saying is courage is not only simply I'm not afraid of lion, I'm not afraid of anyone, I'm not saying like that. When you are feared of something, when you win in that case, that is called courage. Okay, now from these people he learned the meaning of courage. They risked their lives and underwent great torture. They bared the great torture. The harassment they bared a lot. He learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the victory over it. If you are not afraid, that is not courage. If you win over the fear, that is called courage. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers the fear. You leave fear aside and you do the work. You attend the exam. Oh, no problem. Whatever he gives, I can write. But inside, oh, I'll get good marks or not. Good marks or not. You conquer the fear. You achieve good marks. So that is called courage in eyes of Mandela. The country was rich in minerals and gems that lie beneath the soil, but its great wealth is its people finer and truer than the purest diamonds. What Mandela is saying, children? Our country, South Africa, is rich in diamonds, children. You dig the land, you get pure diamonds, very costly diamonds. Mandela is saying, our country is rich in diamonds. Wherever you dug the coal mines, you get the diamonds. But I don't believe in those diamonds. The real diamonds of my country are the people. He says that one. The real diamonds of my country, the real strength of my country, the real gems of my country are my own people. My country people are the real gems. My country people are the real diamonds. I don't believe in those diamonds. I don't care those diamonds. My real diamonds are my people. Who is saying? Mandela. See here the last point. The country was rich in minerals and gems that lie beneath the soil. Under the soil, South African soil, children, you get nice minerals, very costly minerals. But what Mandela is saying, but its greatest wealth is its people finer and truer than the purest diamond, than the original diamonds. The real, final, truest people, real diamonds are my people. My country people are the real diamonds. I don't believe in those diamonds. My people are the real diamonds. They are pure, with good heart, fine heart. I like that type of spirit, he's saying. And he gave the example of all the 6 politicians who conquered their lives. Okay, children? I think you understood this video. Remaining part of the lesson we shall go in the next video. Is it boring? Just I am telling you in a simple way. You read the textbook, you will understand it better. Okay, children? Bye.